Trump erupts at lamestream media after Washington Post reporters trash his lost summer as a time of incompetence and intolerance, and official says story was an editorial. President was incensed by a Washington Post story and rage tweeted Monday. Post wrote about lost summer of squandered opportunities, incompetence. White House had provided a list of more than 24 summertime accomplishments, and Trump was furious after they mentioned only a few. He was outraged by reporters' characterization of his statements as racist. They wrote of July and August as a fresh and vivid portrait of the president as seen by Trump's critics: incompetent, indecisive, intolerant and ineffective. It's an editorial, not a news story, one administration official said. If you don't think they wrote that paragraph and the headline before they started calling sources, you're nuts. By David Martisco, Use. Political editor for DailyMail.com, published 1703 British Summertime, the 2nd of September 2019, updated 1715 British Summertime, the 2nd of September 2019. Donald Trump lashed out Monday at the press corps that covers him, reminding his supporters and detractors that he considers political reporters to be more dangerous enemies than the Democrats who want his job. Oh, your primary opponent is the fake news media. In the history of our country, they have never been so bad, he tweeted. An administration official suggested Monday that the president's latest outburst stemmed from a Washington Post story about a summer season that the White House sees as a glass half full. We worked very hard, provided them with literally 24 examples of accomplishments, the official said of the reporters who wrote a front-page story that ran in print with the headline, "Some Trump allies lament a summer squandered." On the Post's website, the story's headline began with Trump's lost summer and ended with incompetence and intolerance. Trump shoved back on Twitter in the kind of routine, practiced language that once sounded apocalyptic. A front-page Washington Post story infuriated Donald Trump on Monday, drawing out a pair of rage tweets from the president. Trump blasted the reporters who cover him in practiced language that has become his calling card as he tries to delegitimize journalists who he thinks are trying to take him down. The president left the White House in casual attire on Monday morning for 18 holes on a national holiday at his Virginia golf course. At lamestream media has gone totally crazy, he wrote. They write whatever they want, seldom have sources, even though they say they do, never do fact-checking anymore, and are only looking for the kill. They take good news and make it bad. They are now beyond fake, they are corrupt. The president saw this headline on the Washington Post's front page, reading a verdict that his comments were racist, and that he had presided over a lost summer. The White House had plied the reporters, to no apparent avail, with more than 24 examples of summertime accomplishments. Lamestream media is a play on the words mainstream media. It was first popularized by former Alaska governor and former Republican vice presidential nominee Sarah Palin. Reporters reacted Monday with indignation. "Kill the messenger. One of the oldest authoritarian tactics in the book," tweeted Jonathan Landy, a Reuters national security correspondent. New York Times White House correspondent Maggie Haberman claimed in a tweet, citing Trump's anti-media tweet, that an unnamed Trump advisor had told her the president needs voters to feel negatively not just about his opponents but about long-standing institutions like the national news media. Washington Examiner senior political correspondent David Drucker replied, "Negative feelings about institutions tends to be key to success for populists." Another administration official said Monday that the president was displeased with the Post's framing of the story before he left the White House for a round of golf. The newspaper's reporters wrote that he 2 months between Independence Day and Labor Day offered a fresh and vivid portrait of the president as seen by Trump's critics: incompetent, indecisive, intolerant and ineffective. It's an editorial, not a news story, the official said. If you don't think they wrote that paragraph and the headline before they started calling sources, you're nuts. The Post noted that the White House had offered a list of more than 24 accomplishments from the summer to bolster their view of recent months as a bonanza of achievements. The story noted 5 of them, but focused on what the reporters saw as missed opportunities. In the final lull before the 2020 campaign starts to intensify this fall, Trump could have worked strategically to solidify his position and broaden his appeal, they wrote. Instead, his words and actions this summer served to further divide the country and to harden public opinion about the ever-polarizing president. Trump has long sparred with reporters, calling them enemies of the people and a greater threat to him than Democrats. White House spokesman Judd Deere told the Post that President Trump has accomplished more at this point in his first term than any president in history. I don't know how anyone could see this summer as anything but successful, with the president continuing to deliver on his promises to the American people despite the negative news coverage of this administration, said Deere. Trump separately targeted the same article on Monday for a single line in which the Post concluded that his criticism of a quartet of freshman congresswomen were racist. Trump leveled racist attacks against 4 congresswomen of color dubbed the Squad. He derided the majority-black city of Baltimore as rat and rodent-infested. His anti-immigrant rhetoric was echoed in a missive that authorities believe a mass shooting suspect posted. Visits to Dayton, Ohio, and El Paso after the gun massacres in those cities served to divide rather than heal, the story read. Trump shoved back, referring to the newspaper as the property of Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. The Amazon Washington Post did a story that I brought racist attacks against the Squad. No, they brought racist attacks against our nation, he boomed in a tweet. All I do is call them out for the horrible things they have said. The Democrats have become the party of the Squad. Trump has been especially vocal on Twitter in his critique of the Squad. Congresswomen Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, second-right, Ilhan Omar, second-left, Ayanna Pressley, far-right, and Rashida Tlaib, far-left. Let's block ads. Why?